Well, hey, everybody. Green wizard. Not so green. Not so much of a wizard. Oh my God. We've had 24, 25 inches of snow in like 14 days here in Cleveland. I feel like I spend more time trying to sleep because of the weird schedule keeping up with the snow. One day you're plowing during the day, the next day you're in the middle of the night trying to dig people out and do your thing. Uh, yeah, it's. I love it. Believe me, I love it. But it really wreaks havoc on your sleep schedule and what have you. But you keep up on your dietary needs. I know you're all going to sit there and go, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. This was herbicides and pesticides. Hold on, hold on. This all leads into that. You change your schedule, your body changes its demands on you, and its needs don't change, but what you're eating, when you're eating, and how it tastes, and if it tastes, and believe me, it wreaks havoc on your system. Uh, there's no such thing as a normal schedule for a snowplower. It's just weird. It's a lifestyle. That's the best way to put it. It's a chosen lifestyle. People don't realize what we go through. Regardless, regardless. Oh, and I hope you caught the last video. I got to do that. I got to do all that unsubscribe, subscribe stuff because with 11 views, obviously people aren't getting my notifications. Um, so reset something. Something's not right. Anyhow, I'm out, and it's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. George Norrie's on, and this one's on, and this one's on. Um, I try not to listen to music because it's a little too distracting when I'm getting around cars and buildings and what have you. Um, so it's a conversation. It's something going on. And in between all of that, I keep hearing these commercials. And during the day, I get home and I kind of have the TV on just for background noise to sleep. And I keep hearing these commercials for pesticide lawsuits um, against Paraquat and uh, other lawsuits against Roundup, and if you've been exposed and you need to call and it's just I'm thinking about the leaves as I'm going through pushing snow. Right, I'm thinking about leaves of all things. Some buildings, depending on the size of the building and the wind and what have you, when you go up and you pull or back drag the snow away, leaves pop out because they never got cleaned up for whatever reason. Or they got blown in there after the cleanup was done, whatever. Right, whatever. But I'm thinking about the leaves and how if they didn't get cleaned up out of the yards, they're potentially burning the grass and they're doing. And then I'm thinking about the snow and how when you're taking 24 inches. Well, I was pushing 17, then it went down to 5, then it dropped to 3. We got these really weird snowstorms come through. Praying for more, a lot more. Um, but I'm thinking about all of this compaction and all of this buildup and all of this weight, and then like every hour you hear another lawsuit or another uh, law firm talking about another lawsuit, another this, another that, and it racks my brain why and how we got to this point. Think about all the life and life forms that are in the soil and around the soil, and like deer and rabbit and squirrels and birds and The birds are coming in and getting the worms, and meanwhile, we're putting down these herbicides and these pesticides because, oh my God, there's a weed. Oh my God, there's a bug. Oh my God. I try to explain it in the book, and I may or may not have explained it correctly. I may not have lumped it all together correctly. And I think I've talked about it here, but hearing all these lawsuits just brought it to the surface again. And, there's the NPK system that everybody wants to live by. And as you research it and you really look into it, there's only 12 basic things, 12 basic minerals that they allow in the NPK system, and that you'll find in the NPK system. Meanwhile, the body needs 90 minerals altogether on a daily basis. See how that plays together with my eating schedule and what happens. Okay. Your garden can only produce from the minerals that it has available. If you've got a compaction problem, the minerals aren't available in the compaction. Okay, let me not call it compaction. Let me call it clay, because that's what you guys are going to call it. So let me try and, because I've been told sometimes I go a little too far and I get a little too technical, and I over say something and it's not coming across the right way. All this clay won't release what's in it. It won't release the minerals that are naturally there. So we have this issue. Well, as you study plants, you find that they have a natural ability to defend themselves against bugs and against disease. And in the thought process for the NPK and the chemical system, that's that middle number of the three numbers. Your nitrogen, your potassium, and your phosphorus. The middle one, and the higher that number, the healthier the plant theoretically can be. The problem I find, and I've looked, and I haven't stopped. I know I'm going to find the information for you guys. I know I am. Every plant, whether it be grass, roses, garlic, pumpkins, every plant has different mineral requirements than you or I. And the flavors in the fruits that it produces come from minerals it comes in contact with. And it stacks them in such a way and in such a balance that you get the individual flavors. It's like no one tomato tastes like another tomato, right? That's the easiest example I can give. Well, that's because the minerals used to produce those flavors are slightly balanced differently from what it gets from the soil. Well, if we go at this from that point of view, and we have clay in our gardens, so the roots can't get to anything, then we have to supplement something to get plants to grow, right? It's kind of where everybody goes, I can't grow a garden in my yard. There's too much clay. And in my mind, it's like, wait a minute, all the minerals are in the clay. What's the in between? Why? Well, either they end up in a swamp condition, or they end up in this condition, or that, or there's not enough. And see, that's where I think I'm going too far. That's where I think I'm not addressing this in. This is a mineral thing. This is access to mineral thing. You know, we could talk about Iron Dog, and he's gonna build these raised bed gardens, and then he's gonna throw seed at the dirt, because if you stick your finger in, that's work, that's exercise. We're not going to do that, you know. And then we're going to have these weeds, so we're going to spray, because if we actually go in and pull a weed, that's work. So we're not going to do that, because arthritis and stuff. Because yeah, obviously that's not what he's going to do. Obviously that's not how people garden. Obviously you don't just throw the seed on the top and walk away. Every seed requires different things and goes to different depths. And I'm just, okay, this was a joke. This is no one. Well, no, I can't say no one, because yeah, I know a couple people that would just throw seed at a garden and say nothing came up, and the seed never germinated. It just died on the surface. There's a North Carolina friend of mine that really regrets putting my book to use in his yard, because he's burned up a bunch of lawnmowers trying to keep up. He might. He just to get under my skin, he might, and probably would video it and then take tannerite to the garden and say, this is how you dig a hole. That's the kind of friends I got. Okay. The bottom line to all of this is, if we have the minerals and we have access to the minerals, and I give you a bunch of shortcuts in the Green Wizard's Guide, if you look at it from that point of view, even if you come in with the NPK mindset, okay, for that center number makes the plants healthier. As the plant gets healthier in its consumption of minerals, now the NPK process in any one of those bags is only going to have 3 potential vitamins and minerals in it. Or I'm sorry, 12. I'm thinking the 3 numbers, sorry. And every plant has its own little requirements, little of this, little of that, little, some of them may even be taking in some toxic chemicals off the periodic table, but in such a minute amount. But it's for the plant, it's not necessarily for the fruit. Okay? That's why I say grow sunflowers and get rid of all the toxic stuff. Sunflowers absorb that stuff like a sponge. It's really incredible. And it'll clean. Anyhow, if we as humans are having problems with these pesticides and these herbicides, what are they doing to the soil? What are they doing to the food web? If you've got a bug problem, which is Mother Nature's way of getting rid of sick plants, if you have a bug problem, which indicates there's a sick plant, wouldn't you want to address that? Well, the best way to address that is to give it its minerals, have access to the clay. If the food web goes away, we end up with the clay condition, and we end up with the need for so eliminating the need for the herbicides and the pesticides, and gaining access once again to the minerals that are already there in abundance, Now, somebody said to me, my days have blurred because of all of the snow plowing and the weird sleep schedule. But somebody said to me, I can grow some seeds, but I can't grow others. And it was like I felt some ooze or something come out of my ear. It kind of was like my brain started to melt or something. And it was really, anyhow, it's a soil situation. It's a food web situation. Every seed will germinate. No, and the last one I said, out in the middle of the desert, it's all dry and seeds don't. Okay. If the food web has access to the minerals and is bringing back the minerals that the individual plant needs, every seed will grow. Every seed will germinate. Every seed will get its nutrients from this clay, from the clay bed, from the rocks, from the minerals that are down there. Now, the Green Wizard system, just a shortcut. It just gives you that time gap to get the plants this year as mineral rich as possible. I'm telling you, you haven't tasted a tomato until you've pulled one off of my vines. You got to try the system. You got to try the system. It's Mother Nature's way. But it was just that every time I kept hearing these commercials, it was just like, is this a deliberate thing to cause global warming and to kill off all of the microbes and all of the beneficial bacteria and all of the stuff that makes topsoil topsoil? Get your diet right. Get the food web diet right. Get your hands on the Green Wizard's Guide. Like Jerry says, the solutions are in the book. You know, I'm plowing through all of this snow and everything else, and I'm not craving hungry. I'm not, 20-hour shift sitting in a truck. I'm not dying. I'm just trudging along until I fall asleep again, in a sense. But my needs, hunger and this, that, and the other, just blow by. I have an abundance because I'm eating right. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm not getting the sleep I need. And everybody could make more money. But that's kind of why I'm doing this side hustle thing with the book. Get your hands on a copy. You know anybody that gardens, you know anybody that cares about their yard, get your hands on a copy. The information that you could learn reading my mistakes, and then you could share that knowledge with somebody else, you're going to be that wizard. God forbid you make a raised bed garden and you follow the guide and you get the best garden you've ever had in your life. Don't go there, right? Hey, if I can screw it up the right way, just read the book and you won't have to make the mistakes I made. It's that simple. It's that simple. There's just so many things I keep hearing, and I had to get it off my chest. You guys have a great day.